Hey gorgeous people, I hope you're having a great Monday and of always wanting to share a couple of tips or some things that could really add value, could really make a difference to perhaps where your health is at the moment. Health challenges are super important to overcome. Obviously, they're impacting every single area of our life. Physical health issues tend to exacerbate any emotional or mental health challenges or just feelings of feeling down or feeling like we can't kind of move through things. Hey Charity, lovely to have you on. Hey Di, lovely to have you on. As well as obviously impact our relationships, like the amount of energy that we have each day impacts our productivity or how much we believe that we can do, how much that we can kind of get our energy behind our goals and our aspirations and our dreams and feel like we're moving forward. And also our relationships from a resilience point of view, or from hey Erica, lovely to have you on. And Di, also lovely to have you on as well. And really impacts obviously our capacity to be able to give in relationship, or to be able to feel happy and joyous and excited. And I guess, you know, we've all either been in a place at times where we've felt very low in energy or haven't felt good within ourselves, either physically, mentally or emotionally, or we've been in conversation with somebody that's felt like that, and you know, it doesn't feel good to be in either position. Obviously, you know, if we're speaking with somebody and they're quite negative or quite down with where they're at, you know, that can be tough, but also we don't want to feel like we're being that person at times either. Hey Kate, lovely to have you on. So it's really important to come back to that centered place within ourselves. If you are experiencing some of those symptoms like fibromyalgia, IBS, any chronic disease patterning within the body, it's really essential to understand how much your thoughts, how much your energy, how much your emotions are actually really truly impacting your physical health and well-being. Hey Amanda, lovely to have you on. And from that aspect, when we can really identify, or you know, perhaps even if we take it at a base level, you know, so many people can identify with the feelings of stress, feeling more rigid or tight within your shoulders, perhaps feeling tension, headaches, perhaps feeling unwell in your belly if you're really particularly worried about something, or feeling overly anxious. And all of those things, so our spiritual self, our physical well-being, our mental well-being and our emotional well-being are so interlinked, and you can't affect one without affecting the other. And so if we're making an improvement in our life in some way, shape or form, in one of those things, all of those other areas will lift as well. But specifically, I'm wanting to talk a lot about the physical aspect, simply because that can be more so the thing that gets our attention when perhaps other areas of life may not be feeling that great, but we're not actually really recognizing that there's an issue, or that we're unhappy, or you know, we can tend to go, oh, it doesn't matter, oh, it's fine, oh, I'll deal with that later, and tend to brush it to the side. But when you actually have a real physical illness or a physical disease or something that's not feeling right within yourself, you know, it's inclined to absolutely get our attention, and that's for a very specific reason as well. Hey Trace, lovely to have you on here. I truly believe that our bodies are very powerful messengers for our soul. And when we're not tuning in, when we're not listening to that inner voice, to that quiet voice internally, then that's where our physical health and well-being will tend to get on a bit of a roller coaster ride, and in a bit of a downward spiral. So the worse it gets, the worse it tends to get. And this is because if we're not taking the time to listen to the little signs, the little distinctions of where our body's kind of giving us some nudges, or giving us some kind of maybe a little bit more than a nudge, if we continue to ignore that, then of course it's going to exacerbate from that. And you know, we never want to be that person that ends up, you know, getting a call from the doctor, you know, you've got to be in there at the last second, all of those things. It's you know, I've certainly experienced that with another family member, and it's very difficult from that place. Hey Deanna, great to have you on. Hey Katie, lovely to have you on. One of the most important things around this, if you are feeling physical tiredness, if you are feeling physical exhaustion, will be the amount of resistance that you're currently experiencing with your life. Where are you pushing against life? Where are you unhappy? Where are you not allowing the full well-being to flow to you? Where are you frustrated? Where are you annoyed? And you'll know resistance might sound like a weird thing to call it, but it's when like you're pushing back against something. You might feel guarded, you might feel defensive, you might feel like you've got to prove something, you might feel like you've got to justify certain things in your life or certain actions, or you might feel particularly guilty about taking time out for yourself or resting. And it's all of those emotions, guys, that are creating the resistance, which creates eventually the disease patterning within our body. It's the state of stress, it's the resistance, what we're pushing against in our life. And when we do that, we're dropping more and more into a survival state. The energy isn't flowing from our heart. Our hearts are no longer open, or not as open as what feels amazing. And you know if your heart is open simply because you'll feel bucket loads of emotion flowing through there. So a lot of the time when we've been in that operating mechanism of pushing down, suppressing, or ignoring what we're feeling or how we're feeling or what's happening, and there might be a lot going on for you in your life at this moment, and if there is, I definitely understand and relate to that. I was certainly in that stage at one point in my life as well, and until we start to take control of our emotions, then this disease patterning will continue to show up. I think at that time in my life, I ended up having 2 breast biopsies. I had varicose veins removed. I had wisdom teeth removed. I had hernia operation. I had like so many different things going on simply because I was in such a resistant state within my body. But every single one of those things taught me something about the way that I was being, or the beliefs that I was living by, that were causing me pain, that were causing me suffering in my life as well. Hey Tash, lovely to have you on. Hey Simone. So this is really important to understand this at the deeper level, and I'm curious, I'm wanting to create an information night to discuss this in depth, because I feel like I've got a truckload of value to add or to help explain, and for people to understand not only the gut and brain connection and what's actually going on, but also the vibrational state, so the energetic or the emotional state, literally, that we're living in, that's actually creating so much of this dis-ease within the body. And it's if you think about love as a very coherent signal, so when we're in the vibrational, where they're in the energy of love, and we can all be funny and silly about vibes, when you feel somebody that's like high vibing, or they've got good vibes or positive vibes, they're nice to be around, your energy, it feels good to be around them, then we're all picking up on that particular vibrational state of somebody's well-being. Now, if you're in stress, you're now in an incoherent vibration. So it's kind of like, if you think about it like a jackhammer, operating outside your room, it's that energy that's actually reverberating through your system, and it's not creating a coherent. Hey Tina, lovely to have you on. Hey Ali, great to have you on, darling. It's not creating a coherent patterning throughout your body, and so it's just the same as shaking a baby is absolutely awful, because of all the different things that it does to the baby's system and to the baby's brain. Literally those incoherent patterns, and it's probably a terrible analogy to use, I don't know why that jumped into my mind, but I was actually, I'll explain. I was sitting next to somebody yesterday, and they were in a state of anxiety. They were tapping like with their foot constantly, and a lot of that is because this frenetic energy, this anxious energy, isn't actually being grounded properly, and it's creating a lot of incoherence within somebody's nervous system. Now that inhibits our digestive system, which in turn, when that's actually happening, now 95% of your serotonin, which is your feel-good hormones, are impacted. Your melatonin, serotonin cycle is thrown out of loop. So if you're not sleeping properly, or you're waking up at odd hours during the night, that also obviously impacts liver function. We can end up with reflux, we can end up with IBS symptoms. Fibromyalgia, from a metaphysical place, is literally trying to suppress everything. It's holding on to everything because it's a state of feeling out of control. Therefore, I have to contract everything to maintain control. And a lot of the time, what I found with clients, particularly kinesiology clients that I've worked with in the past, and there was a regular pattern around all of this as well. Hey Lisa, lovely to have you on. Hey Deb. Hey Naomi. one of the things that I found with that particularly was that they were often too scared to actually express their emotions, because if they felt like they opened up that vault, then everything would fall apart. And often what I also found, that this was correlated with a high level of feeling responsible for either a person or many people within their lives. So if you think about that, just even if you're feeling overly responsible or overly burdened, instantly there's tension through the shoulders. I know it's my if I get a sharp burning pain in my left shoulder, it's my instant go-to of, where am I taking on too much responsibility? Where am I not taking greater care of myself? Where do I need to let go of being responsible for things perhaps that I'm not responsible for? As women, I think we tend to feel overly responsible for everybody else's happiness, well-being, feelings, all of those things, and it quite often leaves us feeling out of control. Now, if we've got a lot of gynecological issues going on, this will relate back to money and relationships, guys. This is from the second chakra, and it will permeate like right through that lower part of our torso, and quite often into ovaries, uterus. That's our creative center. If you're not utilizing your creative ability in a way that feels fulfilling for you, perhaps you're working at a job that you don't like in order to try and get money, and now feeling resentful of money, but knowing that you need money, so now you're in this push-pull relationship with that. All of these factors play out, guys, and I'm really excited, and please pop yes below, or send me a message. Hey Lynn, lovely to have you on. Wow, yeah, okay, so a few of you are on here. I felt very cool to actually type those words. So I'm definitely planning on running a Heal Your Life, Heal Your Body, kind of just an info night. It'll be very minimal costing to come along. Deb, I know that I think you're back up in Brisbane. I know, Pete, you're not from Wagga either, obviously. But yeah, if there's anybody else that you guys are aware of or know of that are, going through some health issues and perhaps aren't finding the answers that you wish to through mainstream, medicine or Western medicine, and I'm a big advocate of Western medicine in the respect, if I cut my leg open, of course I'm going to go get stitches, but I think there's a lot of other different pathways, and when we can really start to understand the mind and body link, we'll create so much more health and wellness. And I think the biggest thing that I've certainly found in my own personal journey is that there's a very, very big gap between what shows up perhaps on a blood analysis of now you're in a disease state, and suddenly that changed by one or two markers, and now you're healthy and well. And of course we know that there's a big gap in between that, from full health, vitality, feeling amazing, feeling radiant, feeling like you've got the energy to do what it is that not only you want to do each day, but what lights you up. What are your dreams? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? Because if we don't feel like we've got the physical energy to put into something new, all that creative energy gets bound up as well. And so that really can impact health and well-being, particularly around that second chakra. If you've got lower back issues, that will always go back into how am I supporting myself, or how am I allowing myself to be supported? Am I allowing myself to receive in life? And quite often when we've been through different situations or circumstances, perhaps our self-worth might be a little bit low, we tend to block ourselves from receiving. So we'll say, oh no, it's fine, don't worry about it, or oh no, I don't want to be a hassle, or oh no, it's okay. And life wants to give to us. Life truly, truly wants to give to us. And it's been it seems so silly, because we're like, oh, of course I would love to experience more in my life. But quite often when we're presented with that, we push that away, either unconsciously or quite consciously sometimes. So this all definitely impacts our health and well-being, because if you think about it, you can't keep breathing out forever, guys. You have to breathe in. And life is, there's no greater analogy than that. It is a give and receive, but where we kind of get caught up is we don't want to be a taker, or perhaps we've felt like we've had other people that have taken And in that respect, you know, we don't feel appreciated, or so we don't want to be that person. So quite often we will block ourselves from receiving in that sense as well. But the main point, I guess, that I'm really wanting to put across here is absolutely it is about resistance, the amount of resistance to your life's experiences. Life is very, very kind. It will always bring us what it is that we believe to be true, or whatever we're focusing intently on with our thoughts. You want to change your life, and you know, I know that it's been floating around for a long time, and Wayne Dyer obviously wrote the book about it, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, or Change Your Life, Change Your Thoughts. I forget which way, but it's 100% so important to be changing our thoughts and to be allowing ourselves to receive what life's giving us, even if it's not what we want at the time, simply because life is always giving to us, and it's giving to us back what it is that we're putting out with our thoughts, what we're thinking about, what we're focusing on. And when we can understand that at the deeper level, start to shift and change our thoughts and our emotions and our feelings, now we can really start to affect incredible change within our life and start receiving more of the things that do feel joyous, that do feel incredible in our life. Hey Lisa, great to have you on, honey. So really, really important around receiving, and also just that state of resistance. Are you pushing back at life? Are you fighting against what's actually happening at the moment? And so much of our stress from everyday society, that tension in our body, things like fibromyalgia or other disease patterning, is literally from that state of resistance, of resisting what it is that we're experiencing at the time. And I know that that can feel really difficult as well, to feel like I can surrender, I can let go. And surrender is not, you know, give up. Surrender is just let go of trying to control everything and come back to a state of love. Really, that's what it's about. It's about finding that greater gift, or that greater blessing, or that greater gratitude in what you're currently experiencing. Hey Shell, lovely to have you on. Not always easy to do, but certainly made massive changes in my life when I was able to finally flick that switch, particularly on a couple of really big life events where it felt like I was abandoned, it felt like I was rejected. And in that time, when I was able to find true gratitude of what those experiences actually gave me, and it was really about teaching me self-love and gratitude, which is now the core of really what I share with other women and my wonderful clients, to be able to empower themselves in a state of love, to be able to change their life and attract what it is that they're truly wanting from that state of truly receiving. And gratitude is such a great superpower that I think we often kind of go, yeah, that's a nice thing to do, but we don't actually truly acknowledge the power of gratitude, because gratitude really is about receiving. And when we're receiving, when we're allowing ourselves to receive, when we're finding gratitude for the good and the bad, which is what the ego survival mind is judging, now you're not in resistance. Now you're allowing life to flow through you and continuing to change and shift into more of what it is that you do want as well. So I truly hope that that's been helpful for you guys. Hey Kimberly, lovely to have you on. Hey Lauren, hey Donna. If there's anybody that you know that is experiencing some challenges in their life, please feel free to send this video to them. If you are in the local Wagga area, or the Riverina region, and you'd love to find out a little bit more about healing your body, healing your life, tomorrow I'm off to run my quantum manifestation retreat on the Gold Coast. I'm so super excited about this. We'll be diving into so much around thoughts and how we literally do create our reality based on quantum physics, which is an incredible thing. It's certainly what I've utilized over the last 10 years to change my life radically from where I was previously. Hey Aine, lovely to have you on, Dal. So if you are in the local Wagga area, or you can get to the Riverina region, let me know if a workshop or more so an information night to begin with. I think I will be definitely running a retreat. I feel very called to run a retreat on this, to really give women the ability to be able to shift and change their thoughts, to really understand understand how it is that they're in this state of disease at the moment, and what it is that the aspects that they need to heal in their life, whether it's relationships, whether it's relationship to self, whether it's relationship to money, whether it's business, purpose, career, or any other traumas or things that they may have experienced in the past that are keeping them stuck in a certain state of being, or in a certain emotion or a certain feeling about how life is or how life treats them. This is really deep inner healing work, but honestly guys, it heals so much, and there's just such great power in it. So if that's something that lights you up, or you're like, yep, definitely need to find out some more about that, I could potentially maybe do a live stream from that as well. So just let me know if that's something that truly resonates with you, and or send me a PM, and yes, I'll be putting that together over the next couple of weeks, perhaps for a month's time around that, and then organize the retreat from there as well. So have an amazing day, guys. Sending you so much love and happiness and well-being and gratitude. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if this has been really helpful for you, please like, love and share it. Of course, you know, it's all about us all raising each other up and helping others where possible as well. So have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.